Hey guys, Nate here. We are doing a community questions video and we're actually going to talk about how to prepare for your first 5K. This question goes out to Brenda Muse. She was asking about running her first one and specifically what she does the week before the race. She's a little nervous, I can tell, and she's not sure if she should rest a lot or if she should do a lot of extra running. Well, truth be told, Brenda, it's going to be somewhere in the middle. And I love some of the advice that other people in our community were giving. I think one person, Paula, says, well, first and foremost, you need to pick out your outfit of what you're going to wear for the actual race. That is very, very important, but I'm just going to give a piece of advice that may be just one half notch below what you actually wear for the darn thing. Going into this race, you want to feel trained but rested, and that means believing in the training that you've already done and also understanding that anything you really do in the last week is not necessarily going to physiologically contribute to your fitness in a couple days, but there are certainly plenty of things you could do that could take away from that fitness. So fear-based training decisions in the last second is usually not the way to go. But what that does mean is that you do want to do a few runs based off of your fitness, usually a percentage of what you've done in the past that keeps you sharp and focused for the race and kind of keeps you loose and limber. So a lot of times that could be a run that is cut back about 70% of what you're used to doing, even 50% of what you're doing, and keeping a few short race intensity intervals in there. My favorite might be to keep it simple, like 5 rounds of 30-second to 60-second fast intervals. That can make a big difference with like lots of rest in between, 1 to 2 minutes rest in between. You do that a couple times and you'll be good to go. Second thing when you get into your race is actually what you do the day of. You want to show up early, depending if it's a big race or not. If it's a bigger race, the earlier you want to show up, get all checked in, and then you want to go somewhere and get yourself nice and warmed up. And if you've been following our dynamic warm-ups online, you know how powerful those hip swings, those hip circles, those downward dog push-ups, and those other movements are. One thing it does is actually helps dispel all that nervous race day energy. While everyone's kind of looking around and just fidgeting, you've got a plan and you've got a little routine that your body's used to going into, and it can kind of relax, and it's like, okay, I know what's coming, I know how to do this stuff. It's just like any other day, I'm ready to go. So go ahead and do that, preferably away from those nervous runners and all that nervous talk. I would follow up with a few run drills and maybe a few striders that increase your run speed real quick. That can make a big difference just to get the heart rate jacked and ready to go for the actual race itself. Finally, last piece of advice for your first 5K is to have somewhat of a plan for the day. And this is a very low stress plan. You can throw something up on the wall. If it doesn't work, you can go another direction. And it doesn't mean it needs to be super specifically laid out with, quarter-mile time splits as you go through. If you have a time in mind, it's helpful to think about that, but it's also helpful to think about the process with which you're going to get there. I'm not going to go out too fast. I'm going to control my breathing the first mile. I know that I'm going to go through some pain and I'm going to want to give up, but I'm going to decide that if I need to, I'm going to slow my pace down a little bit and I'm going to go ahead and push again. In that planning process, if you can anticipate some of the difficulties you're going to go through, it makes the difficulties way less scary when you actually do it, and that becomes a bonus for the race itself. So there you go, Brenda. Good luck in your first 5K. We can't wait to hear all about it, and hope you enjoyed these 3 tips to get ready. Guys, go ahead and make sure you like this video. Of course, if you like it, have any questions you want answered for future videos, go ahead and throw that in the comments below. And of course, subscribe to our channel because we've got a lot more great stuff coming for you there. And lastly, if you really want to get coaching from us and programming directly from us, I cannot recommend the Weekly Running Tuneup enough. We give you fresh weekly workouts each week. We give you access to our coaching group where we'd only answer your question once a week, but every single dang day. Strength, mobility, running technique, helping you run stronger, run faster, get over those injuries, and look a little bit better in the process. There you go, guys.